You guys are watching the 1985 Italian-American film Light Blast. And I am Josh Hadley. Joining me for this hopefully informative and probably snarky and smartassy commentary is Cecil from Good Bad Flicks.
Thanks, man. This is really exciting because this is a movie that is just a ton of fun. It came from out of nowhere. I have been following Enzo G. Castellari's directing career, and I really enjoy his movies. He's done so many post-apocalyptic films like 1990 Bronx Warriors and Warriors of the Wasteland, and seeing him do more of a crime thriller that is off the rails ludicrous, and you'll find out why soon enough if you haven't seen it, that it's just great. It's really a joy.
Although I have to wonder if you guys are listening to us without having seen the movie, what the hell is the matter with you?
I always find that funny, that because so many commentaries I hear, they're like talking about the movie and then they don't want to give away spoilers, and you have to figure that most people, I would hope, would watch the movie before they would listen to the commentary, but you never know.
Well, we'll get into Castellari and that in a little bit. Right now, I want to point out, yes, this is a spoiler, but since you've already watched the movie, you sons of bitches, this chick coming up here, she's so, well, not him, obviously, but his girl, she's so cute. I was so mad when she gets obliterated so early on. She's so much cuter than our female lead, isn't she?
Absolutely. I thought that, this movie completely pulls the rug out from under you, because if you don't know what's coming, you are not expecting what's going to happen. It's so from out of left field, and that's one of the reasons why I love this. 'Cause it's like, oh, here's this love, couple. They're gonna, they're gonna be the hero and heroine, maybe. Oh no, no, they're not.
We also have to question their idea of a makeout spot. I mean, the abandoned train yard. Okay, I guess that's a fetish, right?
I guess, and I'm assuming that are they supposed to be high school students or college students? I mean, you figure if they're college students, they would have like somewhere to go besides the train station.
Well, this is San Francisco, so we should talk a little bit about the background of the movie. So, this movie is an Italian-American co-production, technically. It's an Italian production through and through. Italian crew, Italian director, Italian writer, Italian score,
Italian upskirt.
Money, Italian upskirt. Yeah, should we be seeing this? I don't know. But it's shot in San Francisco with tax breaks and aid from the San Francisco city officials. And you'll see a lot of San Francisco natives are in this. They're clearly not actors. And what's strange is that this came out in 1985, because this kind of thing was much more of a late 70s, early 80s thing, like with Tentacles and The Visitor and Cannibal Apocalypse and movies like that were shot in America. So this was kind of the tail end of those Italian movies that were shot in America, because up to this point, they would always shoot in New York for a week or two. Like, 1990 Bronx Warriors. Clearly parts of that are shot in New York, but the bulk of it's shot in Italy. So this was at the tail end of that, so it's kind of surprising to see that.
Absolutely. This was a big stunner that something like this would mostly be shot in especially San Francisco, because San Francisco, U.S. in general, is never really cheap. That's why so many things are done in Vancouver or shot in Prague or whatever. So to have a low-budget Italian action, thriller to be shot primarily in boobs, yes, wonderful. What a great way to start the movie, and also we're running out of time. All right,
we're running out of time for what? Is she ovulating or something?
Normally it's the guy that says, but whatever. But for them to be shooting out here, you have to wonder how great must the tax break have been for them to be able to afford this.
I want to point out real quick, I love that shot with the test pattern in his goggles. That is honestly a really nice shot.
It is, that's the thing. Enzo's movies are very well put together for as low budget as they are. He has great shot composition and very good ideas, just never a ton of money. But they always look, I think, better than a lot of the money that they have.
I was thinking about this camera truck with the big laser and the terrorists. This reminds you of the White Brigade from Max Headroom at all?
Yeah, a little bit. The thing, when I first saw this,
Give me the right shot.
I thought that they were like spying on these kids. Like, I'm like, what's the angle here? Cause they're moving the camera, they're looking, and I'm like, what's the thing? Is this like this girl's father or something?
He's gonna laserfy that clock. And you know, since they do this later in the movie too, he's just got a thing against clocks, I think.
Yeah, I didn't quite understand the whole point of the, like, I guess it was supposed to be a timing issue. There's some really nice optical effects there. With
I really like this effect. Yes, it's low budget. Clearly, Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark, but this is a really cool effect that is a lot gorier than you would expect for a movie like this.
Oh,
look at that!
Completely from out of nowhere. Did not see that coming. I mean, it's just wax figures of the people being melted.
Look, they melted the model.
They melted the model too, and then we cut to probably a train that had burned down at some point.
Exactly. And now our villain here is very interesting. Our villain here is his name is Eno Girolami, and he was in a lot of Castellari's films. He was in Warriors of the Wasteland, 1990 Bronx Warriors, etc. He's one of the regulars here. Now, one of the weird things that I'm surprised Castellari didn't do in this movie is he used his real name. And you'll notice in the credits how many names end in I or A. That was uncommon for these Italian movies shot in America, because they wanted you to think these were American movies. That's why Italian cinema from about 77 to 82, they always had an American star, usually on their way down, and usually a TV actor. Because for a TV actor, they used to have that old stigma. Remember that being on TV and being in the movies were two separate universes that rarely crossed? And TV actors had a hard time breaking into the movies, so, well, maybe you could play a second banana in a Universal film, or you could star in an Italian film. That's how they got these, and Eric Estrada, well, he didn't have a big career. You know what? She does have a nice ass, though. He is right.
Well, Chips ended in 83, and his follow-up, like, he did try to get into movies, but his first movie that he did after that was Where's Parsifal in 1985. So that was a movie that wasn't released. It was Italy, Australia, and one other place, I think the UK, was the only three places it was ever officially released. Never got, I think it wasn't until like maybe 20 years later or so when it finally made it to like the US. But not exactly a huge movie for somebody who at the time when he was on Chips, he was a pretty big deal.
But you have to remember, on Chips, he was also very difficult to work with. He quit the show for actually part of a season over a salary dispute. His reputation started to precede him, and he found after Chips, he was almost unemployable. If you look at his output after Chips, he made one thing a year for the next 7 years, because he was essentially unemployable in Hollywood, because he was such a prima donna during the 70s. And that's why this is not one of those fondly remembered movies for him, except for the fact that our female lead, who, ironically enough, he has no chemistry with at all, is his wife. He met her on this movie, and they got married shortly before this movie came out.
Wow, yeah, that is true. They have zero chemistry. It just comes across so bad. And that's funny. I didn't know that.
They were dating, they met on this movie, and they started dating, and then they got married right before it came out. She, Peggy Rowe, who we haven't met yet in this film, she is actually a producer. She is the president of Revea Productions. She's not an actress, and you can tell.
Yeah, totally can tell. Hey, one thing I wanted to mention, I know there's more movies, but how many of these kind of low-budget films that came out all around like late 70s, early to mid-80s, they would open with one thing. In this case, it was the laser blast explosion, but then they would cut to a hostage situation. I was thinking, you know, you had Hell the Living Dead and Dawn of the Dead, and now this, it just seemed like a very unusual thing to get into. All right, well, we have this event, and now it's going to go into a hostage situation to introduce our lead. Like, I guess to show him off as a tough guy.
Cop, yeah. Yeah, when it comes to a cop, yeah. And there were a lot of hostage situations in the late 70s, so just kind of like how when Marked for Death and Predator 2 came out, that, you know, Jamaican crime gangs, well, that's what it was here too. It was reflecting the times. And I want to point out here, pay attention to that turkey. Tell me there's nothing phallic about what's about to happen here, or I'm just reading way too much into its cinema snob style. You tell me that doesn't look like a penis coming from a vagina shooting a load into the guy's head?
I think you're looking too much into it. I like
you don't think Castellari's that deep?
Yeah, I don't know. I think he might be, but I think you're still reading too much into it. One thing I also want to point out about this is they don't shy away from the violence, but all the gunshot wounds and everything in this are really nice. It's nice to see, like, squibs and, like, you know, when people get shot, normally it's like you would just see, like, their shirt would, you know, explode and there'd be blood. And this, people are getting hit in the face, people are getting hit in the neck. The one guy in the car gets shot, like, up the side of his face, and he has, like, you know, like, bullet wounds. And that's really nice attention to detail that you don't see a lot of times in lower budget films like this.
And you know what? That scene that we just watched where he's talking to the guy pruning the flowers, I couldn't figure out, I thought my eyes were going buggy at first. I'm like, what? Is there a subtle movement? And then I realized, oh, he's on a houseboat. That's why his house is ebbing.
Oh, and the other thing too, when Eric Estrada is first walking into frame, cause they're like, I want a, you know, waitress, I want a really hot one. And I'm like, boy, that guy has hairy legs. Or that waitress has hairy legs. And then it's Eric Estrada. And then who has carpet?
All of his big hair.
Seriously. Who has carpet in their bathroom, too? I guess
maybe it was an early 80s thing. But earlier I was talking about how these were made for the American market. And one of the things that they would do, is because they were able to snag an American star or two, was populate the rest of the cast with Italians, and they would try and pretend this is an American movie by using alternate names. Like Enzo G. Castellari, he used his real name on this, but in previous films, he's, you know, directed movies as Stephen M. Andrews or E.G. Rowland. You know, those American directors, totally not Italian guys.
Or Bruno Mattei as Vincent Dawn.
Best pseudonym ever.
Yes.
And this movie was written by Tito Carpi, who also used his real name on this, which he also had tons of pseudonyms, who was a frequent contributor with Castellari. This was just another one of the movies, but the Italian cinema at the time, strangely enough, they were about giving the audience what they wanted. That's why Conan comes out. You have all the Sword and Sandal movies. Road Warrior and Escape from New York come out. You have all of those. Usually they push those together. But this came out right after Miami Vice got hot. Because what was the key to Miami Vice? Lots of driving scenes, punctuated with music and a cop that plays by his own rules. What do we have here? This is Miami Vice Italian style.
Only it's more of a single cop and not a partnership.
He's got the partner played by Michael Pritchard, who the only thing Michael Pritchard anyone's going to recognize him from is he was in both Ewok TV movies. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
It would be good if they put them out on, like, I don't even know if those things are on DVD or whatnot, but I'm sure he'd be able to cash in some royalties off of it.
It's true. And then what you guys got to listen to in this, the great soundtrack, when it's good, we'll point that out later. The great soundtrack to this, Italian soundtracks, this is by one of Castellari's regular duos that do a lot of his soundtracks, but see if you guys can find the parts where they blatantly reuse parts of the Your Hunter from the Future soundtrack, because why not?
Yours World.
No, they don't use the theme song, but just part of the score.
It'd be great if they did.
And you know what? Before this reveal right here, where it was his partner, where doing all of these weird sounds. I actually thought that was supposed to be the announcer, and I'm like, oh God, Castellari, really?
I did too. Well, I thought it was the actual Foley car noises. I'm like, they just had somebody making car noises, and I'm like, oh, it was a joke. Oh, that's actually good.
And then another thing the Italians are known for, we're going to see right here, is stock footage. Ironically enough, of stock cars.
Yes, double stock.
I mean, Cecil, why shoot something if you can just buy it, right?
Oh, absolutely. You know how much money you save? God, Ed Wood, how many films did he just populate with stock footage?
That kid's hair, my God.
Oh, his hair is so out, it's in again.
What the hell is that doing here?
The I love video game sticker.
Hey, it was the 80s, man. And this is ironically enough after the video game crash.
Yeah, it was. I guess he was the last remnant.
But you guys will notice throughout this movie, Castellari is an actually good director. He doesn't cut like you would normally think he would cut. In a lot of cases, he did experiment with cuts in a strange way. Like, there's a scene I'll point out later in the funeral home that actually confused me at first in a good way as to what the hell was happening. And then when I got what he was doing, I'm like, okay, I see what you did, Castellari. Good job. Unfortunately look at the film stock difference between the stock footage and what he's shooting, though.
Yeah, that's the only thing that makes it stand out like a sore thumb, is that the film quality is definitely different.
Also, did you pick up on this? All the bad guys have mustaches. I don't know if that's intentional or not.
I think it was more that it's just mustaches were very popular back in 1985.
San Francisco 85, just mustaches?
Yeah, it's all mustaches all the time. Also, how much would it suck to be shot and killed by a guy wearing rainbow shoulder pads?
Again, it was the 80s.
Now, this, leading up to this, with, you got the big clock up there. So knowing the beginning, it's like, okay, they're going to aim at the clock again. So I started thinking that there was some sort of tie into that. Like, there's maybe a mechanism that they're putting within the clocks. And it's like, no, it really just had nothing to do with it.
And all of a sudden there's looking like our star from Outlaw Wars. There in the yellow in the press box.
Yes.
When I first saw those, I thought, wow, Destro is really, really cutting back on his 3 catalytic elements for the mass device, isn't he?
I wonder, now, this whole thing leading up to this, too, when they shoot, there's more people here. So I felt that more people should have melted, but really it's just the people in the booth. But I mean, it made it seem like when they shot the thing in the train station, I mean, the train melted, the fence melted, the whole building melted, the kids melted. And in this, after they come back to it, they show that like the building's still there and the spectator seat's still there, and most of the people ran away. It seemed very like wildly inconsistent. Yeah, see, like these guys should be dead.
So should Eric Estrada. But this is a really kick-ass scene. You know what? They don't use this laser effect enough, so I'm thinking that this probably was a big chunk of the budget where the opticals because this stop motion, that's a really good shot.
Yeah. And then that one's great. That's like the money shot melt. That one not quite as good because a little sillier, but the first guy melting looks fantastic.
Holy shit.
Absolutely. And then I used to work in the news. Do you know how hard it is to drive a satellite truck with the antenna up?
Oh, I can imagine all the wind resistance and
especially when you got cops shooting at you and people running all around and.
Well, that's why evil mustache guy has to stop, get out, and they do the triple cut from before he starts shooting.
And then, see, here's where the whole Miami Vice influence comes in. You've got a relatively low-speed chase coupled with somewhat exciting 80s score, and this is cheap Miami Vice.
Well, at least they didn't speed up the footage.
That is something that you're very right about that. I just half expected at any moment Harry Callahan to come in and just ram him from the side.
And he can, yeah, oh god, that guy, that's probably the actor up there and not a stuntman.
But yeah, that's another big difference. This is technically, it is in America, but this is Italian cinema. Watch throughout this entire movie just how many stuntmen are really in these explosions and these car crashes. These are not quick cutaways. These are not CGI. This is not digital actor replacement. This is a guy, probably severely underpaid, really dodging a car.
Very, very dangerous. But, I mean, that all goes into Italian low-budget filmmaking. You gotta take your chances. Yeah, here's the thing I was talking about. Gets out, stops, they do the triple take. Dun, dun, dun.
Do you see what I mean? How Castellari uses editing, though?
Mm-hmm.
Because that was a really cool, unique for Italian movies kind of edit right there.
Oh yeah, it was fantastic. That's the thing, I'm not mocking it. I think it's great. And, yeah, I hope that stunt guy at least got paid a couple of bucks. Because we know it wasn't Eric Estrada there.
Which we'll see a lot more in the final car chase, the whole Mario Kart chase at the end. But I like this. How did you survive that? Nobody even cares about the partner. Just, it's another cop. Just let's go. Start cracking jokes.
Seriously, yeah. Let him just rot there. Somebody will call the ambulance.
We'll call it in later. We're chasing a news van.
Yeah, he might have been able to be saved. Meh. Oh, this part is wonderful. There's a nice cut. I'll kind of mention it when it comes up. When Eric Estrada's car pulls in.
I like the fact, nice continuity, that they remembered they shot the guy at the track who would have been in the truck.
Yes. They would have, that they left him there. That was a nice little thing. Okay, so watch. So you got Eric Estrada and the police car. It pulls up here over on the left. Well, in a minute. Okay. And it pretty much where it's parked, it's blocking the ambulance in. So the ambulance can't leave, so they pull a little bit forward and then cut.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do, man.
Because they can't get out. And then later, when they come back, the car's moved. See, there you go, it cuts. And then they come back later, and the car is completely moved over to the side.
That's what interns are for.
Yeah. Oh, wonderful. It's like, we can't afford to reshoot it. Just do it.
And, am I the only one that thinks this is gay Ted Turner?
I at first thought it was the evil guy, because they showed him from behind, and I saw a little bit of the mustache. I'm like, ooh, is he, really the... I'm like, oh, okay, no, it's just a different guy with a mustache.
But I mean, seriously, he sounds like Ted Turner with a slight lift.
You're older than me. I don't know what Ted Turner sounds like.
Oh my god. And you know what? Since this was shot in San Francisco, most of those are probably real SFPD officers just trying to make $25 a day playing police officers in these movies. Like Ninja 3, the Domination. Almost all of those cops were clearly not actors in that movie. They were the actual police force from the area. So most of these are actual cops probably.
Yeah, and why not? Because then all you got to do is hire the cop. You don't have to hire and pay an actor, and then you don't have to worry about getting the uniform or anything right. You just hire the cop, and he comes with the uniform.
They probably bring their own car.
They bring their own car. They bring their own uniform. You don't have anything to worry about.
Will do.
I love this obviously superimposed news footage.
Oh, it's so
news
bad.
Footage shot on film that they're supposedly watching on TV.
I love the girlfriend's shirt. I want to screen cap that somehow and wear it.
I mean, to get your own face. Hey, it's nice of the news that they got the edited footage.
Right. And then, oh yeah,
They set the model on fire again.
They set the model on fire. That's wonderful.
All right, thanks.
And you can tell a lot of these other actors, not just the cops, these are just locals. Like, that's probably a guy that really works at the TV station they were shooting in.
Oh, I was thinking it like they got the guy at like the auto shop.
Get it straight.
Maybe.
Want it all in small bills.
Yeah, see, that's a really nice camera move.
Ideas about marketing.
It was very smooth, and, you know, it's obvious if you're watching the movie that these are not the real people, even though we've already seen them. But here's your first clue over the Italians. Yeah, she's not a dubbed voice at all, is she?
No. Well, why do you think she was holding the phone like so much over her mouth?
So she was clearly one of the Italian actors brought in.
It may take a little more time than that. You do understand, don't you?
1980s forensics.
CSI, oh god, those computers.
I want a CSI TV series set in 1985.
Yeah, instead of like the thing where they can analyze something like immediately.
Enhance!
Yeah, enhance. We'll get back to you in 6 to 8 months.
Do you notice that Ponch actually has a different car every chase scene? You notice he never has the same car twice?
Yeah, he never has the same car twice because probably is. They probably had to like just borrow it out, whatever. They didn't have anything for any extended period of time. They were just renting it like per day.
Except VW bugs. Count how in the second half of this film, how many fucking VW bugs there are.
Well,
I think there's like 8 different VW bugs. I don't know if VW partially sponsored this or if that's just what they found in the area.
Well, more than likely, I don't know, San Francisco, 1985 or 84, depending on when this was shot. I'd say they probably had their own share of VW bugs. Those things were huge back then.
Very true. But, I mean, here's another one of those relatively low-level, not really high-speed car chases set to music that really isn't all that exciting, but I guess Castellari thought they were.
Well, 35 miles an hour. It's about as fast as you want to go for one of these. Oh, but see, look, he spun out, so that's something. That's exciting, isn't it?
Those are probably all real guys who probably didn't even know they were shooting a movie. Hey, the cop's gonna go beat someone's ass!
Oh, seriously. I can't imagine they bothered to get a license to film back here.
Well, the mayor of San Francisco did aid in the production of this film, so they probably had their licenses, but they probably didn't bother to tell the people in the area.
Wow, that's impressive. That's another thing with a lot of those 80s productions. Like, you would not be able to get away with something like that today.
Well, because back then because like I said, there was a big boom of these from about 77 to 82, 83. That's when you had a lot of these, and then it kind of tapered off. It didn't die until the early 90s when the Italian tax laws changed, which forced them to... They didn't have the tax bumper anymore to make it commercial enough to get the American stars. And look at that. Okay? That is a real explosion. Today that would be crappy CGI.
That's beautiful. Those
are real cars.
Explosion.
Yeah, those are real cars. But so that's why I was so surprised, this being a 1985 Italian money American shot film, because by this point that had almost completely fallen down. There were a few that, like you did on your show, witchery and stuff down the line, but it was so common in the early 80s that by this point it was just kind of like, oh, an Italian movie wants to shoot here? Hey, that's free tax revenue.
I love so many of these where a car just pulls in right at the right moment and blocks them. It's like the third time this happened in this car chase.
Well, because you got to get Estrada in there.
Oh, yeah.
Richard's not our main character. You have to get Estrada in there.
Mm-hmm. And this is Estrada still in a little bit of shape, and he's not wearing a wig yet.
Yeah, but you can kind of tell as you watch this movie, this was I need to pay my mortgage film.
Oh, well, after Chips, with there not really being a lot of things on the horizon, of course he had to take this.
in a lot of cases, the American stars that they got for these movies, look at that. That's a real actor right there. Look at that.
That hurts. Yeah,
I don't care if you're a stuntman. Yeah, that hurts.
yeah, he got his stunt bumps there.
But, the American actors at this point, a lot of them did these literally for the money. I mean, yeah, you had, he's not American, but, you had Ian McCullough from the UK and stuff like that. But these people took these movies out of desperation, and the Italians kind of preyed on that in a strange way. I mean, in some cases, they got actors like Lance Henriksen or that are on their way up. I love this. Watch this. Look at that guy.
That's great.
Yeah, he even caught fire. I guarantee that was a no permit shot. I guarantee there was no one from the safety board there that day.
No, absolutely not.
Oh, he lost his hat.
Hey, go back, get my hat.
Damn it, guys, it's my hat. The Poncho's like, oh shit, a gun.
Yeah.
Shit,
Well,
he's got a gun.
the bullets, they were stopped by the windshield, so he's good there, but he's got his window down on that side.
Oh, right in the face.
Right now. Oh, you know what? Maybe he had to get a new car every time because they trashed every car.
That's true. And you know what? There's not even a fruit vendor, and they still find a way to knock fruit everywhere.
Bring it.
I absolutely love this. He shoots the guy and then tells everyone to get out of the way. I think you did that. I think you did that in the wrong order, Ponch.
I think so too. And how many of these shots are they going to have with him staring down a gun barrel?
There's like a dozen more in this movie.
It's wonderful.
Castellari just loved that. And just look at how bored Eric Estrada looks.
How could you not, man, I guess that kind of shows his ego. I would love to do this. Just for free. What are you kidding?
You know how you know this guy's a bad guy? He's wearing a scarf.
Da-na.
Only thing that could be worse if it were a neckerchief.
Now, I'm curious. I haven't seen every Enzo movie, but that laser device is a really nice prop. It had to have been reused at some point.
It's Italian, so I'm sure it was. Look at that. The high technology of 1985. And you know what? I'm pretty sure just putting Mayor City Hall, I don't think the post office will actually deliver that.
Well, doesn't he gives it to somebody to deliver?
No. That's the next
one. That gets
In this one, he actually puts it in the mailbox like that, and I'm thinking, I don't think that's going to get to your destination. You have to put an address on it and stamps. He never even put stamps on it.
Well, he gave it to that guy. You take care of it, henchman.
Yeah, come on, you got to get good at henching sometime, right?
Exactly. You work your way up.
But then we never get explained just what the hell is going on. Yes, these people want money, and we find out later where they get the laser, but where does he get all these henchmen from? I mean, they're really loyal to him.
Evil Henchman Co. I'm sure there's probably some group of Teamsters that oh wow, it got night really fast.
He's driving a long way to get into the city.
Well, that car chase was pretty long, so figure all the way out there in the shipyards.
Hey, look at it this way. It's not day for night, so it's actually nighttime, so you have to give it credit for that. And now I want a cookie.
Yeah, see, no, what it was, he went out,
look,
no stamps.
You can still see, there's no stamps, and he didn't change the address, just puts it in the mailbox. And then in the very next scene here, the mayor's got the tape. I don't think that's how the post office works, Castellari.
Maybe it works that way in Italy? It's like stamps.
In Italy, they just assume where it's gonna go.
I also like the fact that, I'm pretty sure in '85 they dusted for fingerprints, and that guy was not wearing gloves when he rubbed his dirty mitts all over that tape.
Now, the mayor here is obviously an actor, and he's been in quite a few other things. But his assistant that was back there just talking, that's clearly probably one of the mayor's real staff. Here we got gay Ted Turner again.
Is the mayor? I wouldn't be surprised if the mayor was in this at some point.
They usually were. They usually were in these films. They got all their buddies in there. But in a lot of the Italian movies, even when they were shot in an area like when The Visitor was shot in, I believe it was Georgia, that was a big deal for them, but even they knew this was not a big movie. Like, you know, when Troll 2 was shot, the cast were like, oh my god, we're going to be in a movie! But even they realized we're not going to be in a big movie.
But they ended up being in a legendary movie.
They didn't know that at the time.
They didn't know that at the time. Actually, they didn't know that at the time for probably about 20 years.
I love the end of this scene right here. This plays nothing to do with the plot. These characters are never seen again, but why not? Let's give them some characterization for no reason, right?
Well, you had to pad out the film. Oh, that's Crime Lab, obviously.
That's what the 80s CSI show is just going to be called, Crime Lab.
Crime Lab. I like it.
Crime Lab 85. The entire season will be just waiting for mass spec results.
Yeah, that's the thing. Episode 1, the crime is committed. Episode 31 is when they actually get, like, the information back from the lab.
And I'm pretty sure this is not shot in a real police station, because that is an insurance office in reality.
Oh, well, the bank in the beginning, there's no way that was a bank.
It looked like a school.
I was thinking just some office space, really, because they had the boardroom and like the cabinets and stuff, but it just did not look like a bank.
But does that look like a police station? And this chick, what the hell was Cheeseball's product placement in this?
Her acting certainly was cheeseball. Because when she dies, her death is...
It's glorious.
All right, play it up, lady. Ah!
You got one scene, don't waste it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she was going for the Oscar with this. Wrong. Blam! Oh, that's great.
She's in another movie dying.
Cut, print,
VW Bug, by the way.
Oh, there we go, yes.
There's the first one. There's going to be many, many more in this film.
Oh, now he's got a Mustang.
He'll keep that one for, I think, the next 2 car chases, and then after that he's got another one. And then he, of course, gets the Mario Kart at the end. I just wander into her apartment. I mean, there's nothing illegal about that, right?
Yeah, why? He didn't knock, didn't do anything, just walks in.
Look, cheese balls still.
Balls everywhere.
At least he's got a nice truck.
Yeah.
And here we get to, remember how at the beginning of this I said it had a really great score for the chase scenes? This is what I meant by the exception. Because the chase scene we've got coming up has 90s makeout music to it. I don't understand why Castellari thought this is appropriate chase scene music. Does this sound right to you?
No. And also, didn't the truck go uphill? And now he's chasing him downhill?
Fuck you and your logistics.
Yeah. Oh, that crazy continuity.
Fuck you and your continuity, boy. I got a mustache.
I wonder, actually, I didn't check the credits, but I would be...
And now they're going uphill.
Now they're going uphill again.
They were just going downhill.
Sure. Why not?
I get it that San Francisco is really hilly, but you need some consistency here.
Yeah. Oh, and I love how he's very poorly chasing him. Because the dude totally sees him. Oh, there's another bug.
Eric Estrada is not the most subtle car chase man.
No.
And he's gonna get less subtle as this thing goes on. Look at how smug he is. I lost him. Oh yeah. Now I'm gonna go blow a dude. With a mustache like that, you know that was coming eventually.
Well, you know, it was the 80s.
Fuck you asshole!
I think that guy was not an actor.
Yeah, they had to run after him and get him to sign a release.
Release Schmeesh. What are you talking about?
That's right, Italian movie.
Right. That guy was, he was far enough away from the camera that you couldn't see him.
I love this scene for how needlessly ridiculous it is. Because think about it. Ponch could have just pulled out his badge and said, hey, I'm a cop, I need to commandeer your vehicle or follow that car. No, that's my fraternity brother and we're playing a game. Why such a stupid lie?
Well, not even so much why such a stupid lie, but how charming do you have to be to get into a girl's car and be like, hey, follow that guy for me? Are you crazy?
You know what? That probably wasn't even scripted. That was Eric Estrada going, hey, baby, what's up?
Yeah, well, he wasn't with the other girl yet, so. Hey, come back, Ponch.
Hey, didn't I see you in a TV show?
And then he just jumps in the back of this guy's car.
But in this one, he identifies himself as a cop.
I guess. I mean, you have to figure if you're going to, launch yourself into the back of somebody's truck, you want to have some credentials.
Or you're Christian Slater in Gleaming the Cube.
Yeah. Well, he would duck down with the skateboard, so the guy didn't really see him.
Yeah, but he was cooler than Michael J. Fox in Back to the Future was.
He certainly was.
And if you're wearing a Harley Davidson t-shirt, should you be driving a big red truck? And where did he get on a motorcycle? Are we missing a scene?
Yeah, I think they skipped ahead a little bit.
It's like, what the hell? That's some good street art, though.
Really is.
No, I'm not being sarcastic. That's actually some nice street art.
No, I know. We used to have, there was some really nice street art over in Phoenixville. But yeah, I wonder, God, that's probably all painted over now. Actually, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of these buildings have since been destroyed. And they now have expensive condos there.
I love the fact that we actually needed the edits there to go, oh, he's deducing.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's doing crime work in his head.
I think we could have figured it out, considering that the scene that they flashed back to was only 15 minutes ago in movie time.
People are dumb. What do you want?
And yeah, this isn't illegal at all.
Well, he's the cop that's gonna do what needs to be done. If you've got somebody driving around melting people, I think a little breaking and entering they're not gonna look too harshly upon that.
See, this is what I was talking about, where the editing, I was like, is there the wrong scene there? The shot of the woman, and then we see this, and then I went, oh, I see what you're doing. It's actually kind of nice the way Castellari is setting that up. I mean, technically we saw the sign really quick when Mustache Harley Davidson man pulled in here, and it said funeral directors, but I wasn't paying attention the first time I saw this, and I'm like, oh, he's in a funeral home. Okay, that makes it kind of creepy, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it wasn't until they were painting the lips when it really clicked, where it was like, oh, okay, right, the funeral home.
Although I really am not so sure this is a real funeral home, because that does not look like any funeral home I've ever been in.
Well, were you in a funeral home in 1985?
I was 10 in 1985, so no.
Well, there you go. You don't know. It's very possible.
Do you want a party?
What do you think? Return of the Living Dead?
Yeah.
Yes.
All of a sudden, Trash is going to start dancing up there.
Oh, that would be the only thing that could make this better. Now, the scene coming up in a little bit where he's fighting the one girl, she puts up probably one of the best fights in the movie.
And you'll also notice through most of that, it's clearly not Eric Estrada being beat up, too.
No. It's,
He just came down that hall. Where the hell did the coffin come from? That literally was not there when he came down that hall earlier.
Mm-hmm. Like, somebody would have pushed that a bit. Hey, what are you doing in here?
I just like the fact that I hear something. Let's take this big metal stick with me. I guess she's ready just in case the zombie apocalypse happens.
This is not the first time they've been raided by the police.
Probably not. Although, I half expected a reanimator scene here.
Yes, somebody pop up and, who's gonna listen to a talking head? Get a job at a sideshow.
We will inform you of time and place.
He's reading his lines.
Certainly. Oh, there's so many scenes where they pause as the page turns.
You can almost hear the page turn, too. And I like the fact that corpse is breathing. See?
Ooh.
Zombie apocalypse.
Oopsie. Yeah, here she comes.
But where did she come from?
Yeah,
There's no door there. Where did she come from?
Oh, that's great. Yeah, there's no door there. She just and she wasn't hiding behind the cabinet. It's right up against the wall.
But look at this. She's kicking the crap out of Ponch's stunt double.
Oh, she really gives those nuts a workout. Yeah, she just keeps going.
She is also a Castellari regular, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
She's been in a bunch of his films. And you can tell that she's actually really given this her all. While Estrada might have needed a stunt double, that's really her getting her ass kicked.
Yeah. Oh, I love he shoots the foot. Oh, he shoots the hand. I thought he shot a foot. But yeah.
Very handy corpse there.
Ba-dum-bum.
I actually like the green lighting contrasting with the outside. Again, Castellari's
Yeah,
not a
so
bad
she
director.
shot the foot. That's it.
Oh, right in her heart.
Yes.
That's what you get with 80s Estrada.
He's the heartbreaker.
The heart blower upper. Yeah. Don't shoot. You'll shoot at criminals running away when there's a crowd of people around, but don't shoot at a fleeing vehicle or anything.
Nah.
Priorities, man. And why is there a Roman helmet sitting there?
Maybe there's some sort of backstory with all, because we don't really get a full detailed explanation to what is going on. So maybe they were smuggling Roman war helmets. I don't know. I got nothing.
These are clearly real cops.
Mm-hmm. What's the thing? They illegally parked the car and they just waited for the mayor.
For the mayor.
We want more money or the boogeyman will get you.
I love his partner.
Oh, look, dude, how many people have already died? And he's making a joke out of it.
What did the chief have to say?
Well, later on, once they find the safety deposit box key, they dick around for how long, and then let's go see what's in that. Hey, Fred. Hey, Chuck.
Filler.
Who's it belong to? It's one of those floating numbers they assign to embarkations for a limited period of time.
Nice to have a window into the hallway from your office in your totally real police station.
Yeah, what's the point of that?
For scenes like this, apparently.
Ooh, trust the Gorton's fisherman.
Hey, he knows what you did last summer.
God knows what you wanted with it.
Ew. I bet he smells like that permanently.
Yeah, everybody now smells like that permanently. You've talked to Fishman.
Alright, you two aren't in the scene. Get out of here. Get. But this scene, they know about the safety deposit key and how important it could be. So let's sit dicking around here instead of actually doing something, right?
Oh, they're on a lunch break.
What do you say we check out the archives?
I guess, even cops gotta eat.
Right.
Would be ironic if they went and got bacon.
Right.
Oh, God, really? A bacon joke?
Okay, a pork sandwich, served in a dirty ashtray.
There you go.
What the hell are we waiting for?
Chet.
That's what Chet eats.
Yes. You're stewed, but what?
Oh, we shouldn't be talking about better movies when we're commentating on this movie.
What are you talking about? This is a fantastic movie.
Totally real dollars, too.
Oh, yes.
I mean, I know they say some of them are supposed to be fake, but shouldn't the one on top not look fake?
Well, I do like the fact that it was a mixture of 10s and 20s. It wasn't just all 20s.
Really shaking it up, huh?
Well, hey, you know what? It's the little things.
Is it just me, or does his partner there, Pritchard, come across as the kind of dad who would be like in a bachelor party movie? The kind of dad that would get mad at neighbors for stepping on his lawn.
Oh, absolutely. And that hat, too. I think so. Get off my lawn!
And here's Eric Estrada going, I thought I was the star of this movie. Why does he get to do the drop?
But if anything does happen, take care of my canary for me, will you?
That was funny.
Check out that.
It also kind of showcases that Eric Estrada was not a tall man.
Yeah, he's not big. Bert C. Wiley. Bert C.
Oh, there's wasn't she in the lab scene? So she did.
Yeah.
She made it back, but not the one that said everything smelled like cabbages.
She's got a nice butt, though. Did you see her wiggle that when she walked over to get that file?
She, dad ass.
She's got that ass going, yeah. Slow push in for the dun dun dun.
Dun, dun. Although you got to consider she's probably a grandmother by now. Actually, everybody in this film is probably grandparents at this point. That's depressing.
This is not nearly as exciting as the very similar scene in Dirty Harry.
No, but you want to talk? Look, I love this movie, but I mean that's Dirty Harry for crying out loud.
I gotta say something though about the villain. Did you see his arms? He's fucking built for a scientist villain.
Yeah, he does not look like he looks like he'd be like a school teacher, but he's jacked.
I kept expecting a fight scene between him and Estrada, but spoiler, doesn't happen.
Well, probably because he'd knock him out. A nice
Good thing the car had a tape deck in it.
Well, it would have been like one of those 8-track converters.
Okay, that guy's got a neckerchief. Fuck him.
Good. Keep me informed.
Because of his neckerchief.
I hope he dies.
Well, I think we know what's coming.
1979 to Dr. Yuri
Sloboda. The actor's Italian, the character's American, and he's named Sloboda. Sure.
Why not?
Oh, what was it about brown and green in the 80s? What was our problem?
I think they really needed better interior decorators. Oh,
hey, it's a pace runner.
Look at that. That's technology right there.
I used to have one of those that could turn into a robot.
I did too. The Transformer digital watch.
It was gold.
No, mine was silver. I think I actually got the knockoff
gold
version.
Signal is loud and clear.
I like the fact that they have to label the scanner FBI Unit 89.
In case we didn't know, hey, there's the San Francisco treat.
They don't even make that slogan anymore, do they?
I don't know. I can't remember the last time I saw a Rice-A-Roni commercial. Like, it used to be on all the time when they were running reruns of Full House and stuff.
Look, buildings.
Very exciting. He was dismissed.
He is Professor Holfat. I don't know if that was a typo or if that's an abbreviation.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it would be an abbreviation of either. Also,
and here's where you can see how Peggy Rowe, why she wasn't in more movies.
Yeah, better at getting money and putting it towards movies than actually being in front of the camera.
It's quitting time.
Although I love the end of the scene. If it wasn't in the script, I guarantee this line here was added by Eric Estrada. Right here.
He can help me with the titles. Go ahead, see if you can get away with it. He is cute.
Yeah, that he is cute.
I guarantee that was like Estrada going, come on, I got 3 buttons down, you gotta talk about me.
Oh, absolutely. He's really showing off his in shape, out of shape chest. It's always funny
But-
seeing old movies like this to see like what businesses are still around.
When they were at the gas station, did you notice that gas is like $1.08?
That's actually a little high for 1985.
It is San Francisco, though.
That is true.
And how many scenes can we have of Pritchard driving around?
Look at yeah, dude, it's jacked.
Muscle Beach, man.
I would have loved for him to have like a big throwdown fist fight with Estrada. But
It's kind of disappointing.
sadly, you know what though? The rest of the movie more than makes up for it.
Well, he does get his comeuppance in a pretty nice way.
Yes, he certainly does. I think if you haven't seen it, you really should have by this point. But you kind of know what's going to happen.
I mean, he's got a laser that melts people. He's evil. Do we need to spell this out for you?
Mm-hmm.
Look at that. He was part of the Cobra Kais. That's why he's so damn evil.
Oh, because fear does not exist in this dojo.
Neither does mercy.
Then, oh, let's see, it's
Yes.
good. He's got his lockpick tools at the ready.
Totally not illegal. But, okay, look at the chemistry, or lack thereof, between these two. They were married for like 10 years. How do you have zero chemistry like this?
Well, they weren't married yet. So maybe
That's true.
Maybe it's just that she was really nervous about acting, and who knows?
He just wanted a piece. He just wanted a piece.
Could be. Well, he does, like, when, spoiler alert, when she dies.
Honestly, that was a surprise.
That was a big surprise. Well, the whole movie is generally surprising. Like, there's a lot of stuff that I did not expect, which is why I think that this kind of stands out, as far as a lot of these 80s low-budget, thrillers. But yeah, when she dies, like, he does kind of act a little shaken up about it. So he at least, he's not trying in some scenes, but I think he at least was going for a little bit of a, good acting award in that.
Now, kids, what she's doing is called microfiche. This was how you looked up old articles pre-Google.
Yes, it took a long time, and you had to go to like a library to do it.
And it did not have word search.
No. But it was also I guess you could say, like, the Google of the time, because if you go back and you watch a lot of these old movies, how many movies where they're trying to track somebody down that they have to go into, like, the old newspaper microfiche, machine and look something up.
Is it just me, or does it look like he had part of a swastika tattooed on his head there? Or carved in there all... Look, 2 more bugs.
Yeah, 2 more bugs. I think that...
The cops show up in bugs. What?
That's great. I think it was the, it looked like there was some artifacts on the film, so it was like a little bit of film damage. I don't think it was a swastika.
I know, but it reminded me of that, and I just thought that would have been cool if it actually was.
I don't know. I think even back then, it was cliche to have a ex-Nazi, like, bad guy.
How do these guys not know they're being set up yet?
Well, because they got guns. And it's just the henchmen, you know?
No, these are cops.
Oh, that's right.
These are the cops.
That's right, these are the cops, yeah. And then...
So we're supposed to care about what's about to happen.
Yeah, and then, oopsie... Yeah, how do you miss that?
Although, again, look at that. That's a dude. This is practical, man.
That is. And I also like the fact that they all get launched out windows.
I also like the fact that they just stand there and watch.
And then that car blows up. That's great.
But did you notice not a single one of the support personnel did a damn thing to stop that?
Yeah, well, they were in shock. People were flying out windows. VW bugs were exploding.
I guess you could say that was a work from The Exterminator.
Oh, boy. Now, see, the blind guy, okay, he gives them this goes to the mayor.
We've got to talk to the mayor.
And both of these guys are not actors.
No.
But it's urgent. We've got a message for him.
These are just some local they gave $25 to.
25.
Waiting for it. He gave me $100.
He said, well, he told him it was 100, but it was really a 10.
He's blind. How's he supposed to know?
Yeah, it's
You smell the cocaine on it?
$5 million.
Yes, we know you're in San Francisco. We know you're actually there, Castellari.
Well, they're really trying to get the most out of this. Look, we're not going to be filming in San Francisco all the time, so.
That's actually a good shot of him standing up into the pan, though.
Mm-hmm.
As much as I might make fun of Castellari, he's not a bad director.
No, as I said, man, I think he is genuinely good. His stuff, he puts a lot of effort into it, where there's a lot of directors that just will point the camera and just go. Like, he actually has shot composition and puts effort into his stuff.
I mean, look at this dolly shot around the table. I mean, is it technically proficient? Yes, but it's unnecessary, but almost in a Michael Bay sort of way. They're just having a discussion. There's no need to dolly around, but it makes the scene more exciting.
Yeah, I mean, and they had a really nice, it was a pan, they dollied around them. And when they get around to the side, the girlfriend walks in with the coffee, and it's very nicely constructed.
Is it just me, or does Peggy Rowe look a lot like a really young Bay Area blues era Sharon Stone in this scene, though?
Sharon Stone was a little more of, like, she had like almost a heroin chic thing. Like, she was a twig. If you go back and watch like Basic Instinct and like
No, I'm talking back on like Bay City Blues, the Stephen Bochco TV series she did in the early 80s, the baseball one.
Mm-hmm. But I'm saying, like, that was what, like, she was borderline anorexic in a lot of those older ones.
So we've only got 7 hours before.
Guess this is the problem when you live on a houseboat. You can get sneaked up on right from the water.
You would think, like, you'd hear it, though.
I'll get the artillery. You call the boss and you get us some back.
Hey, they're in a deep discussion. I've had D&D sessions like that, man.
I have too.
See?
Although usually it's in the basement, so you hear, like, the door open. Ma! I'm doing something
some more
wrong.
Cheetos, Ma.
Hot Pockets.
Or in this movie, it'd be cheese puffs.
Yes, more cheese puffs.
Because some of them are about to explode.
Because this is urgent.
Yes, makes a weird face, and
blammo.
I love that he's loading. Oh, the shotgun.
Ben, see to it he doesn't act.
I got a shotgun.
Did you find him?
Oh no!
Look at wanton food destruction.
Mm-hmm.
Those were some good cookies, damn it.
Oh, I love the metal tin cookies. Oh no!
That was actually surprising that they really killed her.
Yeah.
But I guess you gotta give, Erica, you gotta give Ponch a reason to actually want to kill Sloboda.
Give him a little bit more motivation.
You know your partner's being shot at right now. I know this is emotional, but maybe you should help?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, she's still warm. This isn't weird, is it?
Is it technically necrophilia yet?
I think so.
I don't know how cold they have to be before it becomes that.
Yeah, now see, he's like really giving it, here comes the rage.
But yeah, your partner hasn't reloaded once yet, and you're still pining over your girlfriend. Maybe come shoot the bad guys, then pine.
Here he comes. Oh, and then the boat. Kablamo! And then well, you know what? Where else would you want to be? Get in the water. Get in the water!
You're right next to water, stupid.
Yeah, oh, no.
You know that puts out fire, right?
And, oop.
Guess he got in a jam.
Oh, right in the poofy jacket. Oh, and then he gets shot in the arm, and I was like, wait, they're not gonna say he's dead, are they?
Why, they did it to Duke in G.I. Joe the movie.
Mm-hmm.
It cleaved his heart in two. He's in a coma.
Yeah.
Jacqueline.
And then he's just like,
Punch.
go get him, Punch.
Pick those son of a bitches.
You know what? I don't even remember his character's name, honestly. He's just Punch to me.
I like Eric Estrada, but he's always Punch to me.
I think his name is Ron something.
Ron Stoppable.
Ron Swan? I don't remember. But I mean, just look at this. This guy has unlimited henchmen. Is there like a henching school you go to and you have to have a mustache or something?
Well, didn't they kind of goof on that in Austin Powers? Where there was just this henchman training school and...
I mean, who wants to be a henchman?
Well, I guess if you think you could kind of move up the ladder, maybe the pay's good. I don't know. I mean, wasn't there like a recession in the 80s? So, people were taking whatever jobs they could.
Well, then I'm surprised it wasn't illegal immigrants. They're doing the jobs Americans won't do. Which I guess in this case would be the Italians.
Yes. Well, they were,
and he's got a short bus.
Oh, he does have a short bus. Well, that's gonna be the new, they need something to cart the thing around.
I'll see you later up the bay.
That's true. Yes, sir. Why are you a sir?
Let's prepare a nice welcome for him.
You notice they see the camera crew in his glasses?
Yes. But that's forgivable. I mean, I've seen that happen in $100 million movies.
Tote that barge.
So it's like, all right, who do I chase after?
The barge or the cars? He's still got the white car, so that's something.
Yes, he does still have the white Mustang. And I think that's an old 5.0, so if he does get into a car chase, he's actually got some muscle.
Yeah, but look at it. He's clogging the carburetor with all that water. It's going to stall out on him.
Well, it is San Francisco. Oh,
the coldest winter I ever spent was a summer in San Francisco.
So he is going to get in the boat.
At least they didn't have him ride a motorcycle in this. I mean, yeah, he was riding bitch on that one, but you'd think they would have gone for a Chips reference. I'm kind of surprised and a little thankful that they didn't.
Yeah, although if this was something that was done now, a lot of times they're a little too on the nose anymore with references and stuff. It's like,
they would have winked at the camera too.
They would have, he would have been wearing like a brown uniform for no reason whatsoever, and he'd be driving a motorcycle, but he'd be driving one of those big old, clunky 80s motorcycles.
Alright, Ponch is being a cunt right now. It clearly said no parking.
Yeah, come on. Just because
you're a cop, goddammit.
Yeah, illegal use of the law. The gasser.
Because out on the docks, we always have physics research labs, right?
Sure.
There's nothing weird about this.
Well, they like the scenery,
I'm sure it smells really good in the summer.
Oh, God. Yeah, low tide. It's just gonna smell wonderful.
I wonder if that gas can in his trunk will play a part in the finale.
I don't know if they showed it enough.
It did get its own close-up, so probably not.
Nah. It's probably a different location, too. Like, he walked in from the outside, and this is like a completely different building. This is a factory downtown.
I also wonder how Sloboda has this thing rigged, because he's got the doors set to automatically close and these turbine things to turn on, and it's like, okay, so did you know that they were going to eventually track you down here, or is this just one of those supervillain things that comes built in when you order a Fortress?
I think it's one of those supervillain things, like, in The Sims, he just pushed a couple buttons and it automatically set everything up for him.
See, you probably get that. That's probably where you get your henchmen. You get like a discount if you order the Fortress, you get the henchmen as well.
Yes, that's gotta be.
And where are these cameras? He keeps seeing different angles of Ponch. Do you see a camera?
Well, they're like those invisible little, like pen cameras. He's got a...
Oh yes, because the 80s were known for those.
Yeah, the 80s had cameras that were the size of Buicks back then.
And it's an Audiotronic monitor.
You return to your post at the university.
Yeah. Go back to your post. Yeah, exactly. That was the thing. He was an ex-professor at a college that decided he wanted to, take over San Francisco.
You know what? He kind of comes across as ineffectual after a while when every time they don't pay the ransom, he doubles the ransom. So first it was 5, then it was 10, then it was 20. They haven't paid you yet, and they screwed you in every way. Why do you think if you keep bumping the number up, that will somehow make them pay?
And he never does another explosion. So or meltdown or whatever you want to call it. So you would think after the second one, it's like, okay, all right, they screwed me. All right, I double the price. All right, they screwed me again. I double the price. All right, I'm going to show them that I'm not messing around. But I guess they could only afford one more light blast.
Yeah, they only had so many wax dummies of the cast.
Right.
Also, how are they hearing one another?
One man.
Yeah, he's not even talking into a microphone.
Yeah, they're just talking to... Okay, maybe it's like that Lethal Weapon 4 telepathy, will me to you, Riggs.
Right. Oh, there we go.
Like, how did he do that? Does he have psionic powers?
I think so. Oh, that would be a really, neat twist.
All of a sudden, he's got, the psi factor.
Yeah, this is like a secret, X-Men prequel.
I thought that was Firestarter rekindled.
Well, that was the was it closet, oh god, what do you call them? Backdoor...
Closet power pack pilot?
Backdoor pilot.
Well, it is San Francisco.
Oh, dun-dun-dun. Oh, there he goes. A car.
He's got you're not gonna hit shit with a shotgun from that range through a fence, dude.
Yeah, through a window, through a fence, about 30 feet away. Nah.
It's like it is and you know what? They keep shooting at him through these gratings. Now, I'm not a firearms expert, but I do know the odds of you hitting one of the gratings are a lot greater than you actually hitting your target at that point.
Yes. Now, him shooting upwards with the shotgun, okay. You shooting...
Yeah, he's gonna hit something.
Yeah, you shooting down with a 9mm, nah. It's not...
Or a machine gun.
Yeah.
Oh no, this new car is being moved. I wonder if that'll play into the finale. Dun-dun-dun.
His car that's sweet.
It is a nice,
I don't even know
car.
what the hell that is, but it's neat.
It is a really nice car, honestly. Everyone wears a puffy jacket in this movie, too. Mustaches, bugs, and puffy jackets.
It's something that was very popular back then, I guess. Now, I love, too, he gets, when he gets shot in the back, and it's like, he goes over, dude, you see he's wearing a bulletproof vest.
You ever see that Creature feature song, Aim for the Head?
Uh-huh.
How about doing that, huh? My mustache will kill you.
Yeah, you're right, man. All the bad guys and they all have kind of the similar hairdo too. They all have the parted in the middle blonde hair.
No, there's actually one bad guy coming up that does not have a mustache. It's the one that looks like strung out Owen Wilson.
Ah.
So one of them, I guess he was the in training. His mustache hadn't come in yet.
That's right. Yeah, he was the new recruit.
Freshly out of henching school.
Oh, and he's the guy that actually, okay. Oh, no wonder he gets killed, because he's the one that shoots him in the back, even though he's wearing a bulletproof vest.
And has an automatic weapon. See, he's got a tiny little mustache there.
Right.
That's not the one I'm talking about. He's got that little, high schooler mustache.
Yeah.
And this is another one of those movies that's like a Western. When someone gets shot, they just die. Some of these wounds are not immediately fatal, but they just die.
Well, except for the, Eric Estrada. I mean, he would get shot, but he's not going to die.
He ain't got time to bleed.
You got time to duck? Oh, and they shot the gun.
I didn't realize shooting a shotgun was electric.
Yeah, it was a nice optical
effect.
What
are you waiting for? Shoot him?
No, I'm gonna aim here. I'm gonna take my time.
What are you waiting for? Is Eric Estrada ready for his close-up?
Oh, that's wonderful.
Electrifying. And bad guy aim comes in again. You know what? They must go to the same henching school as stormtroopers.
Yes, always shooting off to the left.
No, see, the sight was off. I had to compensate, man.
Mm. Now see
Okay,
that
somebody saw MacGyver.
Mm-hmm. Although when was MacGyver? Was that
Earlier
that
80s.
was earlier
Yeah,
80s?
that was before this, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, the henchman went up the roof and somehow got out here before Eric Estrada did.
Yes. Well, he climbed up on the roof and then jumped off the roof. And then, that is sad, though. Oh, they're
car?
destroying that that is a classic car. And they are giving it the business. Like, that is not cosmetic damage.
John Wick's car at the beginning of John Wick 2 was in better condition than when this thing's over.
Shit. I'm going to see that tomorrow, finally.
First of all, how does Eric Estrada actually survive this? Because look at how smushed down that is. Oh, there's the gasser
that just happens to be there.
And clearly empty, as you just heard it fall out. A clearly empty gasser.
Yes. Well, at least they went that far. They didn't put anybody in danger. Yeah, how are you alive?
He's not even hurt. Good throw, by the way. And, by the way, gasoline doesn't do this. I mean,
it'll do, but yeah.
That's not how that works.
No.
And how, if it's sprayed on the treads, is he on fire? You know what? I don't care. It's an Italian movie and it's entertaining.
Mm-hmm. And clearly not the same guy.
I don't really care. Just shoot his flaming ass.
Well,
again, it is San Francisco.
Mm-hmm. Well, he wanted to make sure he was dead too, which is nice. Because I mean, he could have jumped in the water or survived in some way. Nope, still going to put a bullet in you.
And it's a good thing the short bus had its keys in it.
Well, he could have hotwired it. Man, that car's sweet.
Koenig.
It's Walter Koenig's car.
It's a Chekhov. I can check that off my list.
Oh, and here's Mayor again. Hey, it's San Francisco.
Hey, it's the police chief. We actually have all these guys in the same room. And me, I've never been in this movie before. Hi.
Yeah, who are you? Why are you introducing new people at the 80% mark?
And that's the guy that's clearly, that's probably the real mayor right there as the mayor's assistant.
Probably.
But never to threats, wherever they may come from.
Yes, we know it's San Francisco. Thank you, Castellari.
You know what? You gotta get that footage while you can.
Look how casually the villain's getting away. Just, okay, it's like he's on a Sunday morning drive. Okay, all right.
Yeah, he's not going to be able to get into a high-speed chase in the short bus. So what's going to happen? Oh, look at these. I would be surprised if they actually did. Hey, can we borrow these? No. And then they just stole them anyway.
I think this is how this actually happened. I think Castellari distracted him while Eric Estrada went and got the car.
Mm-hmm. We filmed movie. What are you talking about? And then, hey, you're stealing our car.
Hey, is that Ponch?
Hey, who's that?
Mm-hmm. Wasn't there an episode?
That is so not Eric Estrada driving.
No. Wasn't there an episode of Chips where they were chasing around somebody who drove one of these dune buggies, and they kept hiding it in a facade?
I'm surprised the villain's not listening to Walking on Sunshine or something right now.
I love this music though. Now this is chase music.
This music is awesome. This is pure 80s Italian exploitation music.
Yeah, this is terrific.
And the villain's just still
That car probably costs half to the production.
And is probably not street legal.
Most likely, yeah.
Especially with some of the things he does with it. Okay, what are we doing? There he is.
Yes.
It's like, I'm not sure what to look at first.
Yeah, I'm looking off to the right. Oh, up there. There we go. Oh, you can see this isn't the first time they did that. You get.
Yeah.
The marks in
got
the
the
grass.
tracks for a couple of extra takes. And then why is he going against traffic? What does it serve other than me making a Mario Kart reference?
Right.
I mean, all he's got to do is shoot the turtle shell, and then he'll be the asshole of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone hates the one who shoots the turtle shell on the final lap. You're a prick if you do that. Eric Estrada's like, this is really hurting my face.
Oh, God.
I'm not liking this.
Oh, his eyes have got to be so dry. Because you know they had multiple takes of that. He's just, oh, God. Oh, there's bugs in my teeth, and my eyes are dry.
Can I get, like, safety glasses or something?
Yeah, couldn't we have some sort of, like, plastic panel up in front of me? Nope. Yeah, you want to talk about two...
Oh, shit, you mean the good guys are actually following me? I should probably step on it, huh?
Two not street legal cars.
I don't know about the caning, but that's a great car. I want a 1985 caning.
Yeah, whatever that is, I would like...
I'm looking it up as soon as we're done here.
Yeah, screw the DeLorean, man. I want the Koenig.
Damn straight, that thing's gorgeous. And look, totally not Eric Estrada.
Seriously.
Basically, I think if you cannot see his face clearly, it's not Estrada.
Well, it's kind of like when you're watching a movie and there's a nude scene and all you see is boobs, you don't see the head. It's obviously not the person.
Stunt boobs.
It's stunt boobs. That's always frustrating to me. It's like, I would rather there be no boobs than just be random boobs, but it's not the actress.
Okay, clearly they can't wreck either car. Otherwise they'd be slamming into one another. Kind of takes the tension out of a car chase, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does.
Because I mean, there's no way they can afford the insurance on both these cars, so both drivers were told, don't you dare hit one another.
Yeah, the race car, dune buggy, whatever it is, does do a little bit more with it. Like he was, riding down the ramp and riding like up off the thing. So it was a little bit more dramatic because it can handle it. But yeah, that Koenig, they were playing it very. I think that's probably the most extreme thing they did with it.
Yeah, right there. And you know what? It looks like it wasn't planned.
No.
Either. Castellari just said, keep shooting! Just go, go, go!
But meanwhile, the crappy old cars just smash into each other. Now, what did he leap off of? Yeah, and not Eric Estrada.
He leaped off of main character status. There's one coming up here where he almost decapitates a civilian by jumping over one of these, and I'm like, you know what? This being Italian, I'm not sure if that was planned to look like that or not.
Probably not. Yeah, that...
Whoa! Another bug.
Yeah, seriously.
I mean,
oh, here we go.
You didn't notice this when you watched it? Just how many freaking bugs there are?
No, I didn't catch on to that.
Now, if this were a Michael Bay movie, that would explode.
Oh yeah, it would have just exploded for no reason whatsoever. Meteor would have hit it or something. Boom!
Sean Connery would have driven a Hummer through it.
Although, come on. Like, that was back when Bay was trying. Like that.
I want to see Michael Bay remake this.
No, I'd rather him, I don't know. Well, when he's doing like Pain and Gain and he's not doing Transformer movies, he does seem to at least try to put some effort. But I mean, there's still not like how The Rock was. Like The Rock, the car chase and that, everything was so good. But now I don't know if he'd be able to pull himself back enough from CG.
Hey, he didn't stop. Son of a bitch, traffic violator.
Yeah, he's gonna go give him a ticket. Oh god.
Hey, it's actually Eric again.
Why do I have to keep driving in this thing?
Why couldn't Chips have gone on forever?
Yeah, Chips didn't go on nearly as long as I remembered it.
6 seasons and Bruce Jenner replaced Ponch at one point. Bet a lot of people forget that Caitlin Bruce Jenner was a cop on Chips for a few episodes.
Mm-hmm. While they were dealing... Yeah, there's as much damage as we can do to this thing. Hit empty boxes.
I'm sure the suspension's going to need a little bit after this. But okay, this stunt coming up here, this guy running away. Again, I'm not sure if that was planned. Watch how...
Wow.
That was amazing. But now watch, he almost takes this actor's head off. And watch the actor's face. I don't think that actor knew that was coming.
No. Absolutely not.
Castellari was just like, lovely, beautiful, print.
Yeah. You look. When car come, you duck. What? Ah!
What car?
Yeah, what car? Yeah, because he hit the dirt, man.
But the expression on his face was, ah!
Oh, and then more jumping. Oh, it's great.
And the cut of totally not Paunch to Paunch.
Mm-hmm. It wasn't bad, though.
Boat's
I've
leaking.
seen worse.
You're wasting time, dude.
Mm-hmm. Diplomatic
go
immunity.
Revoked! He's gonna go laserfy his ass.
Mm-hmm.
Am I the only one that thinks that looks like an RC car we all had as a kid that we got one Christmas?
It wasn't?
Apparently not. Alright, I think you got enough.
Oh no, that thing he usually, he has to get the juice going and...
Is there anybody who doesn't know what's about to happen?
Yeah, that was the thing. There wasn't a big surprise. Oh, he doesn't have a mustache. Is this the guy without the mustache?
Yeah, you tell me that doesn't look like strung out Owen Wilson.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and there's...
That guy had a chunk fly off.
I think that guy had a wig. And then, oh no! Oh, but it does hit the watch.
Got me!
There's something... Oh, that's so great. But then, this whole boat should be melting.
But then also, is it kind of anticlimactic that Paunch doesn't even get to kill him? He killed him by mistake, by just landing on the barge and throwing the laser off? Is that the definition of anticlimactic?
Yeah, it was a little bit of a bummer. It was a great death, but, he didn't plan that. That just kind of happened.
That's almost a Jack Burton ending.
Big time. It is a little bit of an, anticlimactic ending because it's like, okay, yeah, that's great. And then he goes over and he looks in and it's just like, and then credits.
Oh, okay. I guess this is done.
Hey, guys, you wanna bring me back in?
Help? Guys, can we go get lunch?
Because everybody on the boat is now dead. So he's gonna have to call in the Coast Guard or something. Hey guys, this barge is taking me out to sea. Could you maybe bring me back?
Did you notice how many of these names end in a vowel?
Yeah.
Because this is totally an American movie, Cecil.
Yeah, totally American production. What are you talking about? This is...
Every name ends in a vowel.
Just such a joy, though.
So we hope you guys enjoyed our idiotic little commentary here. It was what it was, but, this is a great movie that needs a little bit more attention, and we hope our commentary helps with that. So Cecil, real quick, if people want to contact you...
You can contact me at goodbadflix.com, or if you want to email me, I'm at Cecil at goodbadflix.com.
And I'm at 1201beyond.com. Guys, buy this DVD, or if you're listening to this, you probably have, unless you pirated it, in which case, we've all been there. So, I hope you guys enjoyed Light Blast, 1985, and I hope we brought this to a new audience, and I hope we weren't too irritating.
Yes, absolutely. Have a great night, everybody.